Hello everybody, good afternoon and welcome to today's live stream. It's Thursday the 11th of September 2025 and we're here again to indeed go through the markets to see what is going on as far as investments in the capital market is concerned. Thank you very much for joining. It's good to be here again and I hope your portfolios are doing absolutely fantastic. As usual, I am your wealth creation enthusiast with a passion for helping people and individuals build their personal net worth via investing through the capital markets and the money markets. And today, we are back again to see what opportunities there is in the markets. As usual, please, let's be informed. The stock market is not a get-rich-quick scheme, but usually we get to wake up to surprises of very quick gains. That doesn't mean you should come in with the guns, okay? So, as usual, today we will proceed with review of trading activities that took place yesterday in the markets, and then afterwards we'll be taking your comments. But let me go ahead and quickly introduce our admins in the house. We have Benita, we have announced. And then, of course, top gainers, Chella Rams, FTN Cocoa, Beja Paints, Sunu Assurance, and Livestock, Wealth, and so this is the sum US dollars. Thank you for that announcement, and I'm sure that should begin to motivate some people here. MRX, is it MRS or MRX? I'm sure it's the US stock. And it's in dollars today. That's coming from Baba Gift. Oh wow, Net Worth Investors Club. We just seem to be growing our net worth, and by God's grace, we are making very significant progress going about that. What do you think? What are you saying? For now, two have already reported receiving their dividends in dollars, and this is what we're all about. Investing and receiving returns on your investment in both dollars and, of course, in Naira. Good afternoon, sir. 1 p.m. Nigerian time, so it's not. Honor says, good day, coach. Please advise between NPF Microfinance and Jaiz Bank. I would go for Jaiz anytime, any day. Good afternoon, coach. Is Mutual Benefit Assurance a good buy? Yes, it is. Pleasant Structures Limited. It's actually a good buy, but I would rather buy that stock at around under 4 Naira. If I see it at 4 Naira, I would wait and buy the pullback at around 3 Naira and upwards, but not 4 and upwards. That's my take. Aradel, UBA, and Champs today. Vivian couldn't see. I will check quickly for you. And the news about Aradel is that the stock price continues to go higher. It looks like it's trying to gather more steam. Yesterday it closed at 530 Naira. Today it's at 545 Naira as we speak. Current bid and offer status stands at 1.9 million bids versus 882,000 offers. So if you want to get Aradel today, then you should be bidding at around 540 Naira. Though it's at 545, should it ever come very low, then maybe we'll see at 539. Otherwise, 535. But because we have more bids than offers, it becomes even more difficult to buy at 539. So these are the various entry price ranges that you can bid for it. But if you want to buy almost immediately, then you bid 545, which is the current price now. I'm seeing a block transaction offer there, 500,000 Aradel at 545. So before they clear that up, you are surely going to get automatically. Otherwise, you join the queue of 540 Naira per share, which will place you at number 155,000 and above. Okay, that's about that. And then for Charms, you asked also, I would try to respond. 3 Naira per share is the current price for Charms. Currently, there are 11.9 million bids versus 8 million offers. And we are seeing yesterday it closed at 303. Today it's at 3. In any case, it's 11.9 million versus 8 million. And there's nothing anyone can do about Charms dropping below 3 Naira. Though you could still put in bids at 2 naira 99 kobo, and that's about the most likely price you are going to be able to buy charms. Please, what do you think about Dangote Sugar? Long-term stock for anybody who is really going to be interested in investing in that stock. Currently 60 naira per share, same price as it closed yesterday. 2.4 million bids versus 2.2 million offers. You could get some at 58 if you want to stay patient, or even 57 naira 65 kobo. What can you say about Guinea Insurance? Sharing cocoa. Actually, Guinea Insurance is a very good one as well. Good penny insurance stock to stack up. I remember seeing Guinea under 1 naira. In fact, it traded at 42 kobo sometime in the last 1 year, but now it's 1 naira 58 kobo. 3.9 million bids versus 7.8 million offers. So there is no pressure on buyers here because there are lower bids compared to offers. And if you want to go in, maybe, just maybe, 1 naira 50 kobo is the most ideal, though it may be difficult, but it's still possible based on the fact that the bids are less than the offers. All right? Okay, so we go ahead with more of your comments, right? Between Dang Sugar and PZ Cousins, which is favorable presently? There is a lot of uncertainty about PZ with the disagreement of the what you call them, minority shareholders versus the parent the company itself, that plans to actually delist from the NGX. So there is this back and forth going on, and for that reason, I wouldn't want to touch PZ. I don't like to invest in uncertainties, and so I will go straight for Dangote Sugar. Coach, please make out time to check your Instagram. Sadboy43. I will. Actually, yesterday I was to engage with so many other things, and if you may want to know, yesterday was also my midweek service, and I couldn't miss that for anything. All right? And so my apologies for every Instagram message I wasn't able to respond to yesterday. Surely I will try my best to see how I respond to as many as possible, or possibly clear them. All right? So please accept my apologies for my inability to respond to all your messages on Instagram. Good afternoon, Coach. What's happening with Mansard? It seems to be on an upward surge. That will be a good news for so many others who have picked it up, but then there is no upward surge unless you are coming into the market most recently, because it's currently at 16 naira per share, down from the 16.79 it closed yesterday, and I'm seeing 1.1 million offers versus 420,000 bids. So up to you to decide, but a very good insurance stock there, as I've always pointed out. Please, Coach, I need your perspective on Jaiz. For a long-term stock, Jaiz is very good for the patient funds. 4 naira 60 kobo. Yesterday closed at 450. I think that's a good support level. Around 450, 460 is fine. Currently 460. You could be lucky to get it under 460, which is fine. And then you stay patient. The business is good. They're making good money. We've seen in their full year results released a month or two ago, and it can only get better from here. I want to offload my NACO for Fidelity, sir. Best sell price for NACO today, G Heights Limited. Now that's a very audacious move. NACO, I can assure you, is not done yet. What is happening with NACO now is trying to gather momentum for the final. Their result is going to be explosive. I do not subscribe to your idea of offloading your NACO now, right? I will finish my advice, but you are the CEO of your portfolio and you can proceed accordingly. But let me finish. NACO is one stock that may just hit 150 soon, especially come January, February. That means nearly 50% upside looking at you right now. NACO currently 108 naira 80 kobo per share, up from the 103 naira 45 kobo it closed yesterday. Bid and offer status currently stands at 3.3 million bids versus 560,000 offers. So it is pretty clear that NACO is like a jet that is about to take off, because the bids are mounting over 100 naira per share bids, and yet the offers are so few, and they are already buying NACO at 108 and 105 and so on. Maybe you want to give it some time, but I know you might also be targeting the interim dividend that Fidelity is going to be declaring. If you have Fidelity already, I think you should be patient and wait for fresh funds. But you can still capitalize on the current 20 naira 70 kobo per share price of Fidelity, and then amass a whole lot and stay focused there. Whether or not they pay dividend notwithstanding, there is huge potential and value in Fidelity, right? Sometimes our instincts can be very correct. So I will not stand here to try to arrogate the know it and be it all to myself. I can tell you, you just might be right. So go ahead, based on the perspectives I've shared with you, and do as occasion pleases. When is the close date for Fidelity dividends? Not announced yet, so no close date yet. So everyone who buys now is welcome. I was giving you updates about Regency Alliance's 1-for-3 bonus. Just in case you are joining in now, let me update us that Regalins, that's the ticker symbol, or Regency Alliance Insurance, have declared a 1-for-3 bonus. For every 3 Regalins you have, you are going to get 1 free. So if you have 100,000, divide it by 3. Whatever quantity, take out every fraction there. The entire whole number you get is for you. Okay? Qualification date for Regency Alliances Insurance PLC's bonus is 10th of October 2025. So between now and the 10th of October, anybody who buys regular insurance will get the bonus or qualify for the bonus. But guess what? Already that boss has loaded and is too full, because there are about 90 point something million shares bidded for, 0 offer. As always, I will advise, do not run after a moving train. If a boss is filled and you do not have that stock, never mind, look for other opportunities. Veritas Cap, a good stock for long term. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a good stock for the long term if you have sufficient patience on your side. I'm really glad to be back to read from our YouTube family. Really excited to be here. Coach, what is your take on the following downtrend in Dangote Cement, Presco, Okomo, and Bitter Glass? Pastor John, I can tell you it's a normal price action you are seeing in those powerhouses. When they were moving, they were unstoppable, but now people are moving money from those stocks to position in other stocks that they may be anticipating another move. That's basically what the entire stock market is all about. Moving money from one end to the other, especially for institutional traders. They will not stay in one stock because it rose and fired up to the moon. There comes a time when they pull out their funds, especially when they see other opportunities they think they should capitalize on. So it's a normal movement. That's why I always advise, one of the best lessons you will learn from me, do not chase a moving train, a flying stock, whatever you describe it, and also have patience in whatever you do, because all of those moves that Dangote Cement, Presco, Okomo, and Bitter Glass were doing, they are now pulling back and taking some rest. Just as if you engage in a marathon, you will have to fall down and rest out of exhaustion before you pick yourself up and recover your energy. Shaibu David on YouTube says, Coach, Please, is Secure Electronic Technology a good stock to buy now? That's talking about NSL Tech. Please be careful. The numbers are not safe. You are not into a gamble in the stock market. You are here to invest wisely and reasonably. Good afternoon, Coach. What do you advise for eTransact and Briscoe? For now, I would say do not go after eTransact anymore because we saw a quick jump of that stock from around 6 and 7 naira. It's now 13 naira 60 kobo. Closed yesterday at 12 naira 40 kobo and still on full bid. 3.1 million shares bidded for, 0 offers as we speak. 10 million naira spent on 796,000 shares traded so far today. Do not chase after eTransact anymore. It has gone too far. The next thing we will see is a pullback. Wherever it pulls back to, if there is still sufficient momentum, then we can be sure that there is still some upside left again almost immediately. But it all depends on how low that stock pulls back. All right? Fellow investors, keep tapping, commenting, and sharing to generate more screen action. Thank you very much, Maobi. Appreciate you there. Fortune Ojenama, it's good to see you thumbing up, Maobi. Interesting stuff. Coach, good morning. For the 1 million challenge between UPDC, Jaiz Bank, Charms, which will you advise? Actually, these are all looking good. I am always biased towards Charms because of all the three that you have mentioned there. It's still Charms that has not really fired up like others have done. We've seen Jaiz rise from around 1 naira 57 kobo to 2 naira something before it leaped to 4 naira something. We've also seen UPDC dilly-dally between 2 naira 80 kobo and 3 naira for so long and then leaped to around 6 naira. But Charms has remained in the territory of 2 and 3 naira for so long. So the potentials for an exponential growth is in Charms, and I will go straight for that. Good morning, Coach. Can you please talk about ROT Briscoe? Well, that's my speculative stock. I'm there hoping patiently that one news will come up. This is not how to go the market if you are just a beginner, but sometimes this is how we hit 10 baggers. Have you ever heard of the word 10 baggers or 100 baggers? Well, that's the number of times that a stock you bought can grow. I will take you deep into stocks and you will hear terms that you don't see on social media. So every time you hear a discussion going on and you hear 10 baggers, it means you bought a stock 5 naira, it jumped to 50 naira. And then you also hear 100 baggers. You buy a stock 1 naira, it jumps to 100 naira. That's what these baggers terms in the stock market means. I hope you have learned something very new because I've never seen it mentioned on social media, and that's because we are still growing our knowledge, and so not everybody really understands these details. But that's what we are planning to do with the 1 million shares challenge, to hit 10 to 100 baggers in the next 3 to 5 years in any stock that we invest in. So for a stock like Charms to hit 10 baggers, to give you 10 baggers, it means jumping from 3 naira that it is now to 30 naira. Will Charms suddenly one day begin to sell for 30 naira per share in the next 3 or 5 years? Who knows? Never underestimate what the market can do. So just in case you pick Charms and you spend 3 million naira, you go to bed, never mind anymore. With all the expansion they are doing and all of the businesses they are engaging in, give them that 3 years and see what becomes of it. Maybe, just maybe 5 years, and Charms could just be selling for 30 naira per share. And if that happens, then your 3 million naira invested in 1 million Charms will then be worth 30 million naira. At that point, you are a multi-millionaire. That's what we aim to do, to use the 1 million shares challenge to force you into becoming a multi-millionaire. This project is actually divine, and if you are able to achieve yours in the next 6 months, then I'm sure you are the purpose for which this project 1 million shares challenge was bettered. No other stock group or investment group has anything like this. Ain't we fortunate? All right, let's keep going. Keep your comments coming in. Coach, do charms pay dividends? They announced that they will soon start paying dividend, especially for the 2025 financial year. So, assume you get 1 million shares and charms comes out to say, look, we are paying 10 kobo per share. To start with, 10 kobo times your 1 million shares is 100,000. But then, by the time it gets to 40 kobo per share, that means 400,000. And then, just as NACO was paying 30 kobo per share dividend, 45 kobo per share dividend, and eventually 5 naira plus this year. And NACO, Charms goes ahead to grow that much and starts paying 2 naira per share dividend whenever that comes. It means your 1 million shares will fetch you 2 million naira as dividend. That's the way we grow money. Thank you so very much, Dor. I see your comments there. Really, really appreciated. Please understand the concept behind this 1 million challenge, 1 million shares challenge. If you don't understand, you may not know. For my Ella Lakes, it's 9 baggers, 5 to 14. Bisoye has already started calculating and coming up with her updates. Okay. Good afternoon, Coach. Please, how much will Fidelity be paying for their October dividend? I do not know. I'm not a member of the board of directors, J. Ezeani. We're all here waiting to get updates by the middle of next month when the reports starts coming. I also received my dividend from MRX. Aleshi Lawyer Lekon. Can you imagine that? Suddenly, we are in a community where we are commanding dividends in dollars. Isn't this really rather interesting? Come on now, let's keep going. Coach, with 600K only, what stock do you recommend for a student looking for capital appreciation? Excuse me, I will check and I will surely revert. Just give me a moment. 600,000 naira, I would go straight into a dividend paying stock as well, but that has capital gains possibilities. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like attention is on Vitafoam lately. Is it that the bonus shares I mentioned one time when I was doing certain speculation about the possibility of a bonus being there for Vitafoam? Is it that it's coming to life? Because suddenly Vitafoam is at 79 naira 50 kobo, 4.5 billion bids versus 1.4 million offers, and a whopping 446 million naira has been spent on that particular stock, talking about Vitafoam. So almost $500 million has been invested in Vitafoam today. Something is brewing in Vitafoam. Please, Coach, I have 500K. What share should I buy for 5 years? Okay, so Sidoff and the student who mentioned he had 600,000. Let me take a look at a few that I can mention right here. Yesterday. Okay. Yesterday. Okay. Give me a moment. I will actually go for, with your 600,000 and 500,000, I will patiently go for tip. But I will not buy it at 12. I will strategically position at 11 naira 90 kobo and hopefully sweep some tip into the bag. Coach, what about selling Uni-Insure for either Charms or Fidelity? I will approve that. Uni-Insure is among the small insurance companies. Whether it gains or not, you can't compare what gains you will get from the other two with what you get from Uni-Insure. So hopefully you've made some very good profit from there. You can proceed to sell and jump into the next boss. Excuse me. Coach, is Sterling a good buy? That's coming from Gentle Soul Alive. Actually, Sterling should be a good buy, but I would rather want to see it at a price around 5 naira. Otherwise, 7.55, not too wonderful buy anymore because it's jumped from around 4 to 7.55. Well, again, it depends on how long you want to wait in that bus, right? The screen automatically scrolled away. Coach, what do you think about swap from First Bank to Chams? They are completely two different stocks. You don't want to throw an elephant out of the boat only to maybe get a giraffe. I hope you understand that point. No intent to demean anyone, but the truth is, First Bank has its quality, Chams, completely different kettle of fish, both of them in various different sectors. You have more protection if there is a market slide because Chams is still a penny stock and can easily lose a whole lot compared to First Bank. Do not unbalance your portfolio. Just stay calm and pick your stocks one step at a time. If you miss any buzz, not a problem. There will always be other opportunities to buy whatever you want. Dividends received for Marex Group, Hosseini Hendricks. So there are so many people who actually bought that MRX, but I didn't feel it, you know, because in this group we don't come out to say I bought this, I bought that, I bought this. But it looks like a lot of what we are doing here is taken seriously, and it's showing. You see, that you are not resident in the US doesn't mean that you can't earn US dollars. Can you see the point right now? You can understand right now that the world is a global village. You can make money from anywhere, and it's entirely up to you. So when you start receiving dividends in US dollars, you begin to exclude yourself from the concerns that people have that the Naira is depreciating. Because the more the Naira depreciates, the more sense your dividend makes. Even if it's $1 dividend you received, that's 1,500 at least. So imagine you receive $100 dividend, cool cash, without sweat. And if the Naira decides to depreciate to 2,000 Naira to $1, that means 2,000 times 100, right? Okay. Keep your comments coming in. Let's go and see what YouTube family has for us there on the comment section. It's on fire. There are a whole lot of comments on YouTube. I will go one before the other. Good day, Coach. Has anyone received his or her FGN savings bond coupon payment for June? Well, I would wait for anyone to respond. I think there were some who received, even though slightly delayed. Okuye Godwin, please watch out on the comment section. Anyone on TikTok and Instagram, if you received your FGN savings bond June coupon, please signify so Okuye can take notes and take action. Coach, please, is secure electronic? Okay, I've responded to that. Please, sir, what's your take on FeedSyn and name it? Well, you can't compare both. FeedSyn is the powerhouse in the Nigerian pharmaceutical industry right now amongst stocks listed on the stock exchange. Name it happens to be one of the underperformers because their finances are not too wonderful, even if the price managed to move from 2 Naira 50 kobo to about 7 Naira that it is right now. So if you are looking for a solid company, and of course that is reflective already on the price, FeedSyn sells for around 40 Naira plus, whereas Name It is around 7 Naira. Coach, what can you say about TIP, UB, and Fidelity? Slat business. Those three are very wonderful. They are all in my portfolio as well, and they are for the long term. I keep them for various reasons. UB and Fidelity particularly for interim and final dividends, meaning I receive dividends from both of them twice every year, and then for TIP for the value in it going into the future. Adwan Pale says, good morning, Honorable Coach. Well, that's another one, Honorable Coach. Okay, whatever you call it, I will accept. Thank you very much, and good morning. My coach, please talk about the future of eTransact. I will quickly check what the numbers are saying regarding eTransact and then give you a quick feedback, right? Okay, there you go. eTransact, we have about just 39 kobo earnings per share, trailing 12 months revenue 29 billion, net income 3.63 billion. I believe that they are trying with the net income I can see, but the shares outstanding is their biggest undoing. They have over 9 billion shares, and that is what has watered down all their efforts in per share terms. In any case, the result is not looking fantastic in the first and second quarter of 2025, talking about revenue growth, because there's actually a decline in their revenue generation in the last 2 quarters of this year compared to the first 2 quarters of last year. And then, of course, net income also reduced compared to the previous quarter, but there was a 57% jump in net income in the first quarter if you compare quarter to quarter. In any case, coming down to the numbers, you have a decline of 7% in the earnings per share for second quarter 2025 compared to second quarter 2024, but an increase of 57% in the earnings per share in the first quarter. So basically a mixed reaction or a mixed feeling for this one. Really can't tell where it's headed, but maybe things will get clearer as we proceed into the second half fully of the year. Yes, I received my June 2025 coupon as usual. All right, so can you hear? Are you there also? I'm talking about Okuye Godwin. I've gotten a confirmation here on TikTok from Success Mindset that he received his FGN Savings Bond coupon for June. Okay, Coach, what's your take on equity funds, and do you advise one to go into it? Asking because some of them did above 60% in the first half of this year. Oma Beauty, you are very correct, and that's because the Nigerian market saw serious jump. You know, when the market is up, equities funds performs. Basically, it's a mutual fund that is concentrated on investing in only equities, talking about only stocks, right? Yesterday I told you about stocks also being referred to as equities. Okay, so that's the reason why equity, if you check very well, a lot of stocks performed very well in the first quarter of, the first half of 2025. So that is reflective of the equities mutual funds or equity funds. Okay, so whether or not that will be repeated in the second half of the year is completely unknown to us. As a matter of fact, I have already mentioned that the fourth quarter, which is the last 3 months of the year, is a period where most stocks sell the least. So you may not get the same results as recorded in the first quarter or the first half. All right? So that's my take on that. But it does not mean that it's impossible. It's just for you to understand. Anything can happen and stock prices drop, then equities fund will also not be able to keep up with that performance. But if the stock market continues to gallop higher, then there is a chance that your equity fund investment will see a similar performance or even outperform the first half's performance. Macroeconomic advantage for eTransact, the signed sole payment platform agreement with FIRS for 2026, like Remita. Farmer Paul, thank you very much. We want to see that translate into numbers. We've seen a whole lot of information like this driving the stock prices of a lot of companies. Eventually, the time lag between performance and celebration or hype brings about either the stock price eventually dropping or continuing upwards. So I would say that transaction has already priced in the value of the company when production and eventual profit making happens from that deal. But I can assure you the market can get weary if they don't immediately start seeing numbers from maybe the first half of next year. It could just start dropping. It's not difficult to see. By the time they print out third quarter results and it's very poor, most of the people who bought a high may be scared and sell off. But you know what? The way to process this information and use it to your advantage is to patiently bookmark this update, maybe put it down in your journal as one of the stocks to watch. In fact, put it on your watch list and wait for it to pull further back to around 5 or 7, because there will be weariness and all of that. And then when that weariness sets in, you now find a way to go and take a long-term position, knowing that this deal is for 2026. Therefore, the resultant effect on their financials will rather reflect from 2027, because the entire 2026 is an ongoing year. When the deal started, it is at the end of 2026 that the numbers will begin to reflect on their books. But it could be so fast that you start seeing a reflection from the first half of 2026. This is how to manage updates like this, and not to jump after the stock when it has already left and now going to buy it higher than necessary. Coach, does MPR rate cut has any effect on stock market? That's a very, very intelligent question there. Gabby Worldwide, I can tell you, and maybe this should form our knowledge session for today. MPR simply means monetary policy rates. And the MPR is regularly set, I think quarterly or so, by a committee in the management of the Central Bank of Nigeria. So the chairman or the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria is holding a similar office to the Fed chair, Jerome Powell, in the US. So whenever you hear Fed chair or federal chair, is the chairman of the central bank equivalent of the United States. They have a team, a committee they call MPC, Monetary Policy Committee, in the central bank. They are the ones who set the rates, whether to cut rates or to increase rates. And now, the question from Gabby Worldwide says, does MPR rate cut have any effect on the stock market? And I will say, absolutely, it has a very telling effect on the stock market. Is it a positive or a negative effect? MPR rate cut, remember the question is rate cut, to cut down rates, actually has a very, very positive effect on the stock market. The next question you want to ask is how? I will explain. First off, interest rate, like I explained, is set by the MPC, the Monetary Policy Committee. So when you see MPR, it is that rate they have set per time. That is the prevailing interest rate that financial services institutions, particularly banks, should be lending money. Now, when rates are cut, it means interest rates have reduced. And if interest rates have reduced, that means it's no longer attractive to put money in the money market, because interest rate used to be 20, for instance, during Buhari's initial first tenure, interest rate was as high as 25%. Now we are looking at interest rate of 17 and 18%. People would rather then move money to the money market because of, number one, the security of the money market, number two, the fact that you will receive a guaranteed 25% per annum. For your information, in the global markets, in Europe and America, interest rate is as tiny as 3% for one full year. And here we are in Nigeria enjoying 25 that time. Now it's around 18, 17, and so on. Okay? So when the rates now reduces, money market does not look attractive anymore. So institutional investors who pushed money into the money market to collect free, secure interest at that high interest rate will start pulling out their money, because you know the stock market is a catalyst in terms of growing your money, grows your money faster than the money market. So when the money market is no longer attractive because of rate cuts, money begins to flow into the capital markets. So every time there is a rate cut, what happens is the stock market benefits. Just as when they were increasing interest rates, and you'll be wondering, why were they increasing interest rates? Simply because they were fighting inflation. So the control of interest rate is actually a tool that central banks across the world, one of those tools they use to fight inflation. When the cost of goods and services are rising, they try to increase interest rate so that they discourage borrowing, because too much borrowing leads to too much spending. And the more you spend, the more inflation spirals. So to dissuade spending, you increase interest rates. And that way, inflation will be fought. Now, they are now reducing the interest rate because inflation has now been stabilized to an extent. There is no need borrowing money at a higher interest rate. So that's basically it. The stock market actually suffered in 2024. Many people didn't recognize. Generally, the market suffered in 2024, apart from poor financials by companies who went into foreign exchange losses. You also had situations where most companies, most institutional investors were moving money to the money market as interest rates were increasing. But now, if it is dropping, then the stock market. And that's why President Donald Trump also has been on the neck of the federal chair in the US to also lower interest rates. And they've given signal that in this September, October, the US Federal Reserve is also going to be reducing rates. And if there's a rate cut, the US market will react positively and jump as well. So basically, if the CBN reduces rates, then that's good news for the capital market. I hope I haven't spent too much time or wasted too much time on this question, but it's important that we get these details clearly once and for all. And this should suffice for our knowledge session for today. Thank you very much. All right, thank you very much. I see Uwem there. Appreciate you on YouTube. So let's keep going. Coach, what do we have to say on Transcorp shares for 3 years horizon? Transcorp only needs to do one thing to make the most move ever, and that is to increase dividend payout. And we've seen earnings per share now increasing and looking very good. If Tony Elumelu goes ahead with his board of directors to proceed to give a substantial dividend this time, Transcorp will move. Otherwise, it will remain stagnated. And if it does remain stagnated, then I can tell you it is a deliberate move to either build general reserve or just keep the stock price within control. Hello, Coach. What's happening with Mikio? It seems to be on an upward surge. Well, every other pharmaceutical company ran upwards while Mikio was strolling. In any case, it's catch-up time. And a binom. That's my response to that. A good day, Coach. Please, what's your take on NASCON, to sell or hold? Let me also explain that sell, hold, buy, they are completely three different things and mean three different things in the stock market. When you hear hold, it means stay action. Don't take action. If you have, you keep it. If you don't have, you don't buy. Just don't sell or buy. Keep it. Stay where you are. If you hear buy, go ahead and buy. If you hear sell, go ahead and sell. That is if you have. So at this point, I will say NASCON is actually a buy for me. Honestly speaking, before I came on live here, I did a review between NASCON, looking at the price, action, and the numbers that they have. And I was comparing NASCON and NACO. And I could tell clearly that NASCON is a solid buy for me. How do I mean? NACO currently is about 105 naira or 6 naira per share, but they have earnings per share, second quarter earnings per share of 2 naira 32 kobo, whereas NASCON has a second quarter earnings per share 2 naira 97 kobo, and it's selling for around 97 naira or thereabouts. So that price you are seeing NASCON now is a fantastic price. You should buy or hold. if you planned to sell. But a sell, never. Okay? Thank you very much. We're really having a nice time here. In the next 6 minutes, I will be on the calls. So keep your calls coming in. Make sure you are lined up there. It's first come, first serve on TikTok as we proceed today in this live stream. Please, can I get your thoughts? Can I get you through call after the class? Dinks. Okay, Dinks, yes, you can. All you need to do is, after the live stream is uploaded on YouTube, that's barely 5 minutes after the live stream, it will be uploaded on YouTube 5 minutes after. You know, I'm back to the office, vacation over. 5 minutes after the live stream, the YouTube will upload. So make a comment there. Dinks, I'm referring to you now based on your comment, and I will respond to you. Otherwise, send me a DM on Instagram. This is if you do not have Instagram handle, then go ahead and just make a comment requesting to call me, and then we will take it up from there, all right? Okay, and Nogio Collins TV says, thank you, coach, you are a blessing to us. Thank you very much. Can I tell you this? You are a blessing to me, because I was sent to do this, and I don't know where you are. But you know what? Somehow, some way, you came around, and we have met now. So let's continue to stay blessed together. Coach, does MPR rate cut? Okay, I just explained that in detail. Welcome back, coach. Thank you so much. Louisa, okay. You too, I will say welcome back, because it almost looks like you traveled yourself. It's good to be back and feels great. Now my batteries are recharged. You know, my eyes are no longer as reddish as you used to see them. Batteries fully recharged, ready to go the remaining days and months of 2025. Good afternoon, coach. Does UACN pay dividend? Yes, Yemik, UACN actually pays dividend and actually disappointed their shareholders in the course of paying the final dividend this year. I think they paid around 60 kobo or so out of 4 naira that they made, and that made the stock price crash from 36 to around 26 or so before bouncing back. And then the news that they are going to be buying Chi Limited from Coca-Cola Nigeria fired the stock price up to 100 before pulling back to the 68 it is right now. So I would say their ability to go in and buy such a business was a result of building retained earnings. You see the difference? So what you should always look for as a long-term investor is what they are making and also retaining, because that gives them the firepower to be able to compete in any business and even carry out acquisitions or expand their businesses. But if you have a company that does not, as far as it is not based on regulation, I mean, if you have a company that just pays out everything they earn, then there's nothing to sustain the business. Should there be any economic shock? Do you understand these fundamental details now? That's the point. So when I remember in our Discord group, I remember mentioning it, that UACN has deliberately retained so much money, but the market is angry and crushing the price. If anybody is wise, buy that UACN. I don't know who bought the UACN at that 26. It came from 36, crashed to 26 after they released their result and announced that dividend. So I'd like you to be more than sophisticated beyond what happens on the surface. They made over 4 naira earnings per share. They paid only 60 kobo, retaining 3 naira 40 kobo or so. And now they have the muscle to buy such a business. Now, that's exactly a pointer to a well-managed business. It was not so before. UACN was in shambles. But a new management came 3 to 4 years ago and revived the company, and here we are. They are financially strong now. That's exactly what we are doing here. In Net Worth Investors Club, we are building our net worth, continually building, because you don't know what to face tomorrow. We are complaining fuel price went to 1,000. We were in this Nigeria, fuel price was selling at 215 naira per liter. Nobody anticipated that we'll be spending 900 naira per liter for fuel. Do you know what? There are greater surprises waiting for you. 2-3 years from now, fuel may be costing 1,500 or 2,000 naira per liter. The point is, what will you be doing by that time? Will you be amongst those who keep protesting and getting shot at, or will you be among those who must have already built the financial fortress to be able to withstand any economic shock? This is why you shouldn't spend every money that comes your way. Financial discipline is the number one step to wealth creation. You must be able to retain money that you have earned by all means, no matter how small the percentage you are able to retain, and then push it into investing, because savings alone is not enough. In fact, any money you left in the bank 1 year ago is useless because of devaluation and inflation. All right? So all we are doing is, look, you are not poor. You are not lazy. You've been making money, but you can't see where the money is going because you have not any form of strategy to grow that money beyond the now. 1 million naira today is useless in the next 5 years because it would have lost value completely, plus devaluation, inflation as well, right? The same thing, the US dollar, $1 of 1990 is not $1 today as we speak. Even the US dollar also suffers devaluation, not to talk about any other currency in the world. I hope somebody is getting something today and you are fired up to improve your financial situation. So if a company is doing that, understands that, then you as an individual who has to work before you eat, you have no other choice unless you are planning for a terrible future. I've said it before, the richest people live longer because they are too assured. Those things that causes people high BP and all those problems that people think about until they die suddenly, the rich don't suffer it because they are too sure. Even if when they need medical attention, no matter how bad the situation is, they can afford the medication anywhere. Do you get the point now? Great. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's 1 p.m. Time to take your calls on TikTok. Line up there, keep your environments quiet. Unfortunately, I must have missed some of your comments, but I trust my team in the house talking about the moderators, Maobi, Benita, Gratitude Boss, El Ramos, who will always be helping. Kaka has been doing fantastic on the comment section as well. Really, really appreciate you for all you've been doing. So let's go ahead and take your comments right now on calls. Please keep your environments quiet. I'm going to mention your name and then we proceed. Maobi is already up there. If you are around, Benita, and you are able to talk, then please you can join us as we open the lines for callers to come in. Hello, Maobi. You want to say your hi to today's participants in this live stream?
Yeah, sure. Hello, good afternoon to you, Coach, and good afternoon to all the members of Network Investors Club, both old and new. It's a fire Thursday, I can say today. The energies on the roof. We have a couple of stocks telling us that we can make money from talking about real insurance and even Halal. I was commenting in the group a couple of minutes ago that maybe, just maybe, Aradelo Club might be getting closer than we might think. But like you always advise and like I always agree with you also, do not chase it moving store. Make sure that you have invested early enough and that you are investing smartly. Thank you, Coach. I'll plug in around and I'll be happy to engage through needed.
Thank you very much. Hello, Benita. Good afternoon. You want to say your hi to the group?
Good afternoon, Coach. Good afternoon, Mommy, and everyone. Yes, just still on our 1 million units of shares challenge. I can see that a lot of people have started taking position, and every one of us, I believe, gradually will continue to accumulate until we reach that goal. And I can say that we are going places with this that you have asked us to do. So we are waiting. We are taking position gradually, and I know it will turn out for good. Thank you, Coach. God bless you, sir.
Thank you very much, Benita. God bless you too. So, ladies and gentlemen, where are our callers? Feel free to call in. Otherwise, I'll keep going with the comments on all platforms. Coach, please, what's your take between NIDF and Treasury bills? I've said it before that interest rates are dropping already. I identified this since early this year, and it's clearly obvious that the government is lowering interest rates, as you can see. So the returns on NIDF is far better as we speak right now in today's day and age, especially considering the fact that NIDF has not really moved in terms of the stock price itself. So it continues to get better the lower interest rates goes. Please, between Chams and Jaiz Bank, which has more prospects in the 1 million shares challenge? Well, Willinage, I would say Jaiz. Good afternoon, coach. What's happening with McCall? Okay, I've responded to that. Adeola Agbele Moge says, good day, coach. I'm interested in joining your Discord group. Okay, Adeola, we are excited to welcome you. And this is me now informing us to join the Net Worth Investors Club from anywhere you are watching from or connected from. Just follow me on Instagram at Wealth Coach Omiete. You can check on all my social media platforms. You will see the link tree on my bio. Click on that link. You will see the Instagram handle. Follow me and send me a DM requesting to join. Net Worth Investors Club, a group of fellow Nigerians and some foreigners, Nigerians abroad and in Nigeria, over 3,300 members who are putting their money to work and working tirelessly to grow their income. And of course, that means there is always discussions going on the group. It's a secured group, not for everybody, but free of charge. All you need to do is send me a DM personally. The reason is the link expires from time to time, so there's no permanent link, and it has to come from me. You must have requested it to join. And if you do, I'll forward to you, but you must have downloaded the Discord app on your phone, installed, and opened your Discord account. It functions like WhatsApp, but has so many more features and can take as many members as possible. That's why we are on Discord. Beyond the 2-hour session that we have on a daily basis here, we always are discussing the markets, analyzing and sharing views, both for Nigerian and foreign stocks. And of course, you heard some people say, I earned my first US dollar dividend today. That's because one of the stocks that we invested in for foreign stocks paid dividend recently. Ticker symbol MRX. All right? So, and for the cybersecurity and protection of all members of the group, that link expires in a short while. So when you are sent, make sure you use it very fast. And be informed, there are so many scammers going about using my DP to create fake accounts. If they come into your DM, refuse. I will not come to your DM for the first time. And that's how you used to know. I don't follow you back because I want you protected. If I follow you and that scammer uses my DP to come to your inbox, you will think I am the one chatting you. So that's the reason why. If you see a DM, a DP with my face on it, run. That's a scammer. Please, nobody's going to ask you to bring money in Net Worth Investors Club. It's a do-it-yourself club. The whole idea and strategy is to protect everyone. That's why it's a do-it-yourself club. So there is no middleman who will come and say, bring money, let me invest for you. Anything we don't discuss in the open, it is not applicable outside here. I've heard from people who have encountered that individual or those individuals on various platforms, how he introduces crypto and tells them to download any app here and there. Please be safe. And I can assure you, you'll be glad you joined. And then, of course, the YouTube channel is also there. Do well to subscribe, all for free. If you are coming in and you need help with beginner guide videos, then DM me. I'll forward the link to help you watch that 1-hour video to understand how the market operates. We have our first caller, Flamsy Eagle. Chiom Sinu says, Coach, please send me the Discord link. I've sent you multiple DMs, but you are yet to resend. Never mind, I will. Sorry about that. I apologize that yesterday I couldn't respond to DMs. So maybe you should resend again, because the automatic bot there replying messages almost makes it feel like I've responded to all messages, not knowing Not all has been responded to. Hello, good afternoon. Do we have Flamsy Eagle in the house? Okay, maybe he called in mistakenly. We will go on with the next caller. At Rixel is our next caller. Hello, good afternoon. A very good afternoon to you. Yes, sir. Please tell us your name and where you're streaming from.
Yes, sir. I want to say very big thank you for all you are doing and to say that we are really enjoying and we are making profit out of the whole
Fantastic. It's good to know.
point of information that we get from this platform. My question goes. I have 50 pounds and I wish to convert it to Naira for investment in NIDF or buy Nigerian saving bonds and revert it after 2 years. Is it a wise decision to do this? Thank you.
Okay, please mute your microphone. Okay, sorry about that. I guess you may not know what to do about that mix-up with the hallbacks and the echoes. But first, it's a wise decision to grow that money faster. Because if you keep pound sterling, euro, dollar where it is, you won't get much. You get 1, 2, 3% in any form of savings or mutual fund overseas. Maximum you will get is 5% if you invest in certain bonds or something like that. But converting to Naira and then powering it through NIDF, I think is the best option right now. FGN savings bond has a maximum tenor of 3 years. Interest rate for 3-year bonds is around 17+%. But let me do the numbers. £20,000 at an exchange rate of 2,100, if you ask me, even if it's not correct, that fetches you 42 million divided by, let's say you buy NIDF 113 Naira per share, that's 371,000 NIDF. I will take away the 1,000 and other pieces and say 370,000 NIDF because of commissions. So 370,000 NIDF. If I do the math, you are going to be getting about a whopping 1.9 million every 3 months. 1.9 million every 3 months times 4. It means you will be getting 7.6 million for every year. If you do that for the next 3 years, that will fetch you 23 million Naira out of the 20. Now you now convert it to pounds, only the profit. 23 million Naira, assume the pound sterling by that 3 years now exchanges for 2,200 to 2,200 Naira to £1. Remember we started with 2,100, but I am now assuming that the Naira has depreciated and added 100 Naira in the next 3 years, which is the tenor or the lifespan of this investment in NIDF. You will have gotten £10,400. Let's just leave out the balance again there and say £10,000 added to your £20,000. That's about 50% in 3 years. No European bank or American bank can give you such a return. Thank you. I hope that's clear. If it makes sense, and by the way, of course, savings bond can't fetch you that based on what I have already disclosed. If you are making sense today and you can really hear me from where you are, if we are really making sense today, go ahead and type sense, sense, sense. Oh, Adeshino, you deserve a trophy. You've mentioned the sense even before I asked for it. Awesome. So you see why we are here. We brainstorm, we exchange ideas, and then the most important thing is that your money is working perfectly for you and you are doing great. Yes? So that's the point. Next caller, thank you very much. I'm seeing your senses all over TikTok. Let me see if Instagram is responding. Okay, great. I've seen your responses on Instagram. Can I see your responses on YouTube as well? Unfortunately, I can't see comments on Twitter. I don't understand the setting. And then on Facebook, today I think I missed out something. The technical team is not here to correct that. So transmission is not on Facebook today for whatever reason. By the way, we go on to the next caller. Don't forget, the lines are open for your calls. So we have Aminu Mohammed. After Aminu Mohammed, Henry will be our next caller. Okay, JD is asking for the YouTube. Now that I'm back to base, 5 minutes maximum after the live transmission, the video is on YouTube already, straight. Okay? So let's hear from Aminu Mohammed. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, Aminu, are you there? Okay, while we are waiting to connect with Aminu to maximize the time, let's see if we can also connect with Henry. By the way, Abosede Folake Ogunshola says, hello, coach. Thanks for all you do. Please, is RT Briscoe a good buy today? I think RT Briscoe is at a comfortable price. In fact, lower than I bought. Let's see how much it is right now. RT Briscoe. Well, it's trying to make some gains. 3.50 kobo currently, up from the 3.35 kobo. It closed yesterday. Bid and offer, 2 million bids, 2.1 million offer. So maybe interest growing there again. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Tell us your name and where you're streaming from.
Yeah, I'm streaming from UK, Edinburgh.
Henry from Edinburgh, we are glad to have you. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you for all you do.
He laughs.
In fact,
I'm wondering why he's laughing.
I don't know if maybe you came back with a lot of information on this vacation.
I told you I went to recharge my battery. See my eyes, they are no longer red.
Oh, my body is shaking. All the information
Oh my God.
too much information. The thing is taking me off balance.
Wonderful. And all for free. Interesting, isn't it?
This you gave for charms, I was discussing with my friend this morning. I was a little bit skeptical about the thing. I was confused whether to do the 1 million this thing, because I saw somewhere that they don't pay dividends, and but when you broke it down and mentioned, give one or two information, I became satisfied about that. But there's also another question that you answered here. Somebody was requesting either this Giants Bank and Chance Ultra for the 1 million challenge. So you just quickly mentioned, by passing, I don't know why. So that's one. Then secondly, I think typically you had most of my question. Even this last one you mentioned about this NIDF for this our brother that you just explained that I think is good for me too.
All right. You are on fire.
Challenge, for benefit of some of us that are just really jumping, thinking of which one to really go for to start with. I don't know which one you just recommend. At least from now till the next 2 weeks, let's do our own 1 million challenge.
Okay, actually, I do not want to influence what people invest in. I just give ideas and we take it up from there. In any case, I personally am looking at a few stocks. I'm just waiting for updates. I've already shared most of them, and I can only just mention a group. Sometimes I'm also not right. In the end, we are not actually in a competition to say who is perfect. I'm not in that. There's no need for that. I don't get paid for being always right. No. I spread and give you the opportunity to also use your mind, because that's the best way to teach, not to always look like, okay, this is the best. So why is it a 1 million challenge? If people can't at least make up their mind outside, okay, what if I mention one that somebody already has over 1 million plus and is looking for other options? You see? But the stocks I'm watching for the 10 million challenge are as follows. I know I mentioned Academy Press, but that's on the high side, almost 10 naira, now 9.30. But there is a time it could drop. I don't know, because I'm too sure the fundamentals are solid, in spite of the bonus they're going to give. I think that's about the one with the highest price. Otherwise, I've mentioned repeatedly Qtix, I've mentioned Chams, I've mentioned UPDC, I've mentioned ROT Briscoe, I've mentioned UPDC REIT, and I'm also looking at a stock like Tantalizer. I mentioned here that I want to find out what progress the new owners of Tantalizers and the new investors who put in money, what progress they have made, whether we are at that point where it now makes sense to take a reasonable position, and so on. I think I have practically mentioned most of the stocks. I particularly also said I avoided insurance stocks in this 1 million challenge because of the anticipated recapitalization and eventual merger and acquisition that may happen during the insurance sector recapitalization exercise, so that you don't accumulate a 1 naira insurance stock only to realize that they have merged and been taken over by a bigger insurance brand, and now they are giving you, for your 1 million shares, they are giving you 200,000 to say that is the strength of the company you bought. We don't want that disruption. That's why I don't mention insurance stocks. You get a point. But if somebody is interested, a stock like TIP as well, fantastic for the 1 million challenge. It's just that, again, it becomes more difficult. TIP that was 2 naira in November is now 12 naira. So what you would have bought with 2 million naira, you now need 12 million naira to buy. This is why we want to force multimillionaires out of this group. So what you buy for 1 million, 2 million, 3 million today could just turn you a multimillionaire in the next 2-3 years. That's what we're saying. Get the point now. So these are the stocks I'm looking at for the 1 million challenge. If you ask me personally, I already have the chance more than 1 million. There is no story about it. But long time ago, it's in the bag. There are some other 1 million I already have. Okay? But this is me being divinely led to share this vision to as many as are interested. And let's see how you can forcefully become a multi-millionaire. Some people are actually doing jobs that they don't like, but because they need to earn money, they are going every day doing that job, both abroad and anywhere across the world. But you know what? When you build that kind of financial capacity, you can now decide to dare any business and say, this is exactly what I have passion for. Let me go for it. I have the financial backing to fund it. Then you have arrived almost at financial freedom. That's the point. Is that okay, Harry?
Yeah, it's okay.
Thank you very much. Okay, the next caller we have is Dr. Muslima. OJ say, coach with doings. Which one is doings again? You mean 1 million shares? Yes, original Black Diamond. I mean 1 million shares. Dor says, can I do 100K unit of VFD? Yes, you can. Absolutely. Actually, 100K, 100K in VFD, as long as it's less than 11 naira per share, that's a good entry price, okay? So this is how the secret millionaires make their money. Dor, is a stock like VFD group good for volume? Absolutely, it is. Tolu Alase says, Coach, please, can you talk about Prestige? That's talking about Prestige Assurance. Actually, Prestige Assurance is a fantastic insurance stock managed by Indians, and you know how very shrewd they can be when it comes to business. It's just that they have not been very generous with shareholders, and so it's not looking really pleasant at the moment. But the stock price is reflecting the strength of Prestige Assurance. I remember always saying buy Prestige under 1 naira. Severally I said that, and it stayed long under 1 naira. But right now Prestige is at 187. We don't know what happens with the insurance sector reform that is going to sweep across the entire insurance industry in Nigeria. In any case, good insurance company that is still at a penny range, right? Okay, I thought I was inviting Muslima. Hello, Muslima, are you there? A very good afternoon to you. Please tell us your name and where you're streaming from. Kalila from Abuja. You speak very gently. Thank you very much for joining. Please go ahead. Thank you very much. Okay. Absolutely, absolutely.
My focus is mainly on stock that are halal. So there are some criteria that we use to identify those stocks. So presently, I've identified like 5 stocks that I'm looking at. But I just want you to give me like your own advice.
Okay.
On those stocks. So I've identified the likes of Jais Bank.
Hmm. 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 Okay.
Yeah, so those 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
I identify them. So I just want your opinion on those 5 stocks.
I think you've identified amongst the 5 best halal stocks listed on the stock exchange. There are so many others, but your pick has been. Fantastic stocks to take position in peacefully, in perfect alignment with your religious principles.
Thank you, sir.
Anybody who knows me knows my position as far as those stocks are concerned. I was almost going to start with saying I hope Jais Bank there, because amongst all the banks, Jais is the only halal bank I think I've listed on the stock exchange. Thank you very much. You are doing great. And hopefully you will hit all your targets.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for everything you've been doing.
Thank you so much. My pleasure all the time.
Bye.
Bye. All right. I have a comment on YouTube there. Azonbe Era. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for the good work you are doing. Please, I want to join Network Investors Club and Atlas Portfolio. Thanks. Azonbe Era. all you need to do, just send me a DM. I will respond to you on Instagram. Or go on the YouTube if you do not have Instagram. After the video is uploaded, immediately after the live stream, then just make a comment requesting for it. I will forward the latest link to join Network Investors Club and send you a link to open your brokerage account as well. Authentic Channel, UC Authentic Channel says, please coach, what's your take on QTIX, RT Briscoe for long-term stocks? Two of them are great. All you need is just patience, and they will both take you to exciting destinations in terms of your capital growth. Coach, for a starter like me, which of the stock can I buy for long term? I would suggest you take position in TIP, suggest you take position in Charms, or you take position in Fidelity Bank. But do not overspread whatever you have. Sometimes you just need to buy only one stock until you get more money to buy any other. Afternoon coach, between Cornhall, Guinea Insurance and Prestige, which stock would you advise to get? David Eboma is asking. Cornhall, Guinea Insurance, Prestige. These are three insurance players. I will, without further ado, go on to buy Cornhall straight away. ABA Eselemondi says, good day coach, is it good to get more Fidelity shares at this time? Yes, it is, because I do not see it dropping any lower than that. All right. Thank you very much. We'll go on to the next caller. And we have Ola standing by. Hello, Ola. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you so much for all you do for us, sir.
Thank you. Please go ahead. Tell us where you are streaming from.
My name is Halal. I'm speaking from Osun State, sir.
You are streaming from where?
Osun State.
Osun State. All right. Thank you very much, Ola. We're glad you are here. Go ahead.
Okay, sir. So my question is that I used to invest like 1.5 million every month on ARM investments, money-based investments. So I was having a conversation with someone from this. So it was like, you are still young, you can take more risks, you can invest in stock, you are investing in that market investment. So my concern now is that I don't want to like go into any store and then spreading my money to many store. And so I want you to advise me on what to do. Can I continue to invest in ARM stock, ARM the money of investment, or I'm not putting like 2 or 3 or 5 stock and I am putting that money on every month.
Okay. How old are you, Ola?
25 years old.
25. What are you doing in mutual fund at 25?
I actually started investing.
Hold on. Whoever advised you that you are young and you should rather be investing in stocks is absolutely correct. You can't be that young and be talking about mutual fund and all those things. It's good for knowledge's sake, but this is the time you have that most people do not have. A lot of people have their regrets for not knowing about the stock market earlier in their life. And the stock market grows your money faster. What are you doing in mutual fund, ETF, all those things, when you can educate yourself enough in stocks and then put money there to work faster for you? When you now progress towards your late 30s and 40s, you now start looking at moving some of your monies you made in stocks into ETFs and bonds and mutual funds and whatever. Those are slow motion way of wealth building. They are basically for security of capital. You don't get much from there. So the actual process or sequence I personally advise is do stocks, but know what you are doing. And the only way to know what you are doing is learn enough. Find yourself in communities like this, read enough, anything stocks, ask questions, and from there, you invest intelligibly in order to grow your money more. And then when you are getting older, you don't want to now take risks. That's my experience in coaching people as far as wealth creation is concerned. As a wealth coach, I've seen the younger we are, the more urgent we are about growing the money we have, because we really don't even have enough. We don't have much. We haven't worked enough. And so you grow it faster when you are younger. The older generation do not want risks. They've worked, they are nearing retirement, and what they want is safety of capital and whatever can come along the line to sustain their lifestyle after they must have stopped working. That's where bonds, ETFs, and all these things comes in. Unless you have so much money in your hand and bonds are looking very attractive, then you lock it up for long term. I am talking to you now. I mentioned earlier in today's live stream that during the late Muhammad Buhari's first tenure, the federal government of Nigeria was really serious about getting money from the bond market. So what they did, increase interest rates to draw attention of the public. 25%. You know what I did? I invested in a 15-year long-term bond. So there is a bond fetching me money at 25% per annum from when I started till 2037. That's the only time when you can lock up money because it looks so attractive, and I knew it will not last long at 25%. Today is 17, 16, 18. Then every 6 months till 2037, there is a money that must drop in my account because of that decision to invest in that bond. Should you start stocks and run into such an opportunity, then fine. Otherwise, focus on growing your money the fastest way possible, but do not do it without knowledge, because doing so means the 2007-2008 market crash can sweep you off your feet and clear everything you have. Do you understand me now? I'm so passionate when I'm talking to younger people because I started when I was not even in the university. Living with my parents with 4,000 naira, I started learning and investing in stocks. That was 27 years ago. Thank you very much. Is somebody getting something from this meeting? If you are, type yes, 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 yes. We have Ziggy on the line. Okay, thank you very much. I see the responses are very fast on TikTok. Awesome. Now only God can reward this, our prophet. Hello, good afternoon. Tell us your name and where you're streaming from. Ozioma from Bayelsa. We are glad to have you. Go ahead.
Actually want to, I don't know if Atlas staff is online. I want to lay a complaint, sir.
Okay, go ahead. I'm searching. I can't see them. They are not in the house today. I actually would have seen and mentioned that. But what was the challenge? Okay, unfortunately, they are not here now. I would like you to just stay patient. It's something they can solve, and especially when that lady that they always mandate to join us comes in, something will be done. All right? Just stay a bit patient. It looks like she's more proactive than those at the customer communication end, where you send WhatsApp or email or what have you. So just stay patient. Next time, tomorrow still check on, and let's see whether she'll be around to respond.
Okay, thank you, Coach.
Thank you very much. Okay, so I have a comment there from, this is coming from Benjamin. Benjamin Taibolaji says, Omona, only God can reward this our prophet coach. These people are serious with this prophet coach. He just they dish out a life-changing information. Thank you very much. God bless you too. Even for listening and taking steps, your blessings and your reward cannot be denied. Coach, should I sell UCAP and add tip? Beauty Finds Shop is asking. Depending on the volume of UCAP you have, maybe you can go ahead and sell. But UCAP, like I stated the other time, is like a pregnant woman who just gave birth and is trying to still recover her vitality and strength. After doing a 2-for-1 bonus last year, it will take time before it starts making sense. But a very good business and will surely recover very well as well. For now, they're actually trying to, they pay dividend twice as well. But if you want to refocus your portfolio and build on tip, not a bad idea as well. Okay, good day, Coach. Is it good to get more Fidelity shares at this time? Okay, ABA, I've responded to you. Surajuddin Adeshete says, Coach, what's your take on Access Bank and tip for a long term of 3 to 5 years? Both of them excellent, especially the patience required for Access. You have just mentioned you have it. 3 to 5 years is enough time to accumulate both. Thank you so much, Coach, for your response. Okay, thank you, ABA. Peluola Dairo, between NPF and Charms, which stocks is good for million stock challenge? I will go for Charms. But if you already have Charms, then if you think NPF is fine, why not? Thank you very much. I see your yeses as well. Israel Adebayo and Surajuddin Adeshete. Echoes of catechesis. Coach, what is your take on Greenwich Alpha ETF? Now, this is the problem again. That's why I'm not too concerned with ETFs, both Nigerian ETFs and foreign ETFs, because to me, I'm just wasting my time slowing down what should have been growing in quantum in the equities market. That's why you hardly see me talk about ETFs, even for foreign ETFs. But there are theories everywhere, and on the internet, they will say, when you want to start investing, go for ETF. Go for ETF so that your money is safe, and then you are sure, and then it will grow over a long time, and then, but they are instilling fear in you. Why not say, okay, start out with ETF, but get enough knowledge about stocks, then come back to stocks, or get enough knowledge about stocks first, dive into stocks. They are afraid to say that. What they don't also tell you that ETFs also loses money. S&P 500 loses money. Vanguard loses money, depending on when you bought. When the market is high and you go and buy ETF, when the market comes down, ETF drops. I'm aware of people who lose money on ETFs as well. So let's drop theory and face practical. That's what we're saying here. All right, do we have more callers? Yes, we do. Let's keep going. Ola Dakbo. Akin Tolakbe. Let's hear from you. While we're trying to connect with you, Boss Beats says, can I sell my 3,000 euro worth of Bitcoin to fund my million shares challenge? Sir, I would advise that you keep your Bitcoin intact. Stay there. The world is changing. The financial landscape is changing. Bitcoin is gaining more relevance and can only keep going. $200,000 per coin is within reach. What you should do with your $1 million challenge, 1 million share challenge, is get fresh funds. No pressure. You still have a long time. If it takes you 1 year to achieve it, fantastic. If it takes 6 months, great. But most importantly, just focus on one stock and be in that challenge. Hello, good afternoon. Okay, looks like it didn't connect. We'll go on to Phil SA. Willie Raj says, please, what's your take on custodian? Okay. Custodian insurance, I would always say it's gone out of reach because I saw that stock Dividend around 16, 19. In fact, if you check my share prediction for 2025, I do stock prediction yearly. From the first day of the year, I will do stock prediction quoting the last trading price of that stock the previous year. Custodian is on that list. So for it to now be selling at 43, well, for me, anyone who wants to get in there is late to the party. Hello, Phil. Hello, are you there? All right. Maobi, if you are there, there is a comment here I'd like you to respond to this time. It's on Instagram, and Han Hurex is asking, please advise on Wando and Seplat. Maobi, what's your take? Someone needs advice between Wando and Seplat. Interesting topic there.
Okay, coach. All right. Okay, I didn't quite get the name of the guy asking.
And Hurex.
But I hope you are listening. Okay, between Owando and Seplat, Seplat is the juggernaut between those two, right? But there is one point I want to make with Owando, right? If you are looking for that mystery stock, let me use that word, that is not doing so well at the moment, and these are my personal views, of course, right? That mystery stock that is not doing so well at the moment, but with a very good potential to give you good returns in the nearest future, then that stock is Owando. But there is a caveat. If you are going into Owando, make sure that you are a patient investor, that you have patient funds to enter. But on the other hand, if you are looking for that established entity in the oil and gas sector on the edges, then Seplat might be your guy, most especially if you are looking for quarterly dividends, just like you get with stocks like NIDF. It's important to note that only Seplat and NIDF pays quarterly dividends at the moment. So again, it boils down to the individual choices of any investor. If you are dividend inclined, you're looking for quarterly dividends, Seplat is your best bet. But if you're looking for potential, really significant capital gain as a patient investor with long-term funds, you might decide to enter the window quietly, and you can be sure that in years to come, they must have pulled out of whatever situations they are facing at the moment. So that's my take, coach. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. He indicated that he was listening, and hopefully he got you there. I agree with you completely. All right. Is it okay to buy Presco with 2.5 million, Dr. Tu? Dr. Tu, whatever amount it is, Presco is good to go. It will swallow it up, but surely give you returns reasonably, especially if it's a long-term stock. Coach, if you have 5 million, which is only available for use till ending December 2025, will you put the 5 million in a commercial paper that guarantees 20% per annum for 90 days, or will you put it in a stock, and which stock? Okay, Benita, can you respond to this before I weigh in on that question? Interesting take there. It's coming from Chekus on Instagram.
Good afternoon, Coach.
Good afternoon.
Please, I would like you to help me repeat the question. I was a bit distracted.
It's okay. If you have 5 million naira, which is only available for use till ending December 2025, will you put the 5 million in a commercial paper that guarantees 20% per annum for 90 days, or will you put in a stock, and which stock?
Okay. So considering that we have just 3 months here because of the time, if you had mentioned 6 months, I would have said stock is preferable for 6 months because at the moment
Wow, this is awesome. Fantastic response. Ladies, are you seeing Benita giving us solid, powerful advice? Excellent. And remember, he said, or will you put in a stock, and which stock? And this is where I come in. No stock. Why? November, December is a time when stock prices dip. Whatever you buy now and hold till that time could just disappoint you. And that's my problem with short-term investments in the stock market. Absolutely unpredictable. So what do? Take the little 20% in 90 days. But I like to advise, when you see 20% in all of these investments, it doesn't mean you will get 20%. The 20% is annualized. And you are not holding for the 365 days, that is the annual. You are holding for 90 days. So when you calculate what the 20% is for 365 days, you divide by 365. Whatever you get, you then multiply by the 90-day tenor that you are looking at. That's when you get the actual return. So a lot of people will be eyeing the 20%. Oh, 20% in 90 days. No. 20% annually, but you are investing for only 90 days. So you pro rata to 90 days. That's when you get the actual interest or coupon, whatever you are investing in. Thank you so very much. And this is why this group is priceless. We help you to get sound financial knowledge. You begin to take decisions for yourself and your family, and they will be amazed where you're coming from. Net Worth Investors Club is for you to grow yourself. If you are not growing, I didn't know Benita from anywhere, not even Maobi, but this group is an opportunity to hone your financial skills and sharpen it and be a better you. And together, we'll be raising informed, intelligent, and wise investors across the globe. Thank you very much, Benita. Once again, we have just 8 minutes to go. And Shai says, I'm so glad I found this community priceless indeed. I can tell you, I feel the same way too. 2 callers. Let's see how we can deal with this. I saw Navi Diva coming first. And after Navi Diva, then Top Boy Savage is next. So Chekus, I hope you got that feedback very clearly. I like you to always remember, in as much as we are involved in the stock market, we are careful with our capital. Remember, there are 2 rules to invest in. Rule number 1, do not lose your capital. Rule number 2, do not forget rule number 1. Simple. Hello, good afternoon. Apologies, we can't continue because of the background noise, particularly because perhaps you dialed in error. We have 7 minutes to go. We have 2 callers first on the line. Top Boy Savage. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Tell us your name and where you're streaming from, please.
I'm Israel and I'm streaming from Lagos.
Israel from Lagos. Thank you for joining. Go ahead.
I have a question. I'm very new to investing and I am very interested. But like I said, I'm very new, so I have some questions that I want to ask you. Somebody came on here and asked a question about the stock, and I want to know how long would you advise for somebody to invest in stock?
Hello, Maobi. Can you respond to this? How long do you advise for someone to invest in stocks?